Hello and welcome back to the Trainers of the World Tournament. I'm your host DeltaTDS, and today for match 151, we've got the Johto gym leader Falkner going up against the Sinnoh champion Cynthia. Cynthia is currently our last trainer in this tournament with an undefeated record, let alone a 6-0 record. I mean, Chili's lost. I believe Claire's lost as well. So she is our final trainer and the last potential trainer to go into round 5 undefeated. But Falkner's got the 4-2 record. He's lost a game in every match. He's got the Mega Pidgeot. Cynthia's got the Mega Lucario. And once these trainers are ready, we can see who will be going into round 5. Can Falkner put a dent into the final undefeated record? Or will Cynthia just keep that title? Cynthia starts off with the Togekiss, Falkner with that Skarmory. Very good lead from Falkner. Starting off with the Iron Head, doing 83% to Togekiss as it goes for a Thunder Wave. Cynthia switching out to the Milotic as Skarmory goes for a Stealth Rock. Milotic revealing it does have that Flame Orb. Falkner's going to switch out to the Xatu. Ice Beam's doing 2/3 to Xatu. Psychic's going to do 27% to Milotic. Ice Beam takes out the Xatu. 4 turns in and Falkner loses his first Pokemon. Falkner's going to send out the Pidgeot now as Cynthia switches out to the Togekiss. Sacking it to the Stealth Rocks. Wasting one of Pidgeot's Hurricanes. Cynthia's going to send out the Terrifying Garchomp now. Pidgeot with the Hurricanes doing 60%. Stone Edge takes out that Pidgeot. Garchomp revealing it does have the Life Orb. And Falkner sends out that Swallow now. Cynthia switching out to the Spiritomb. Facade is going to not do anything to that Spiritomb. And reveals that Swallow does have that Flame Orb. Steel Wing doing 27% to Spiritomb. Dark Pulse doing 60% to Swallow. Plus that burn takes it down to 35% health. Sucker Punch does take out the Swallow, leaving Falkner with 3 Pokemon left. And Falkner's going to send out his prized Lugia. Honestly, I don't think Lugia's going to like this Spiritomb. Aeroblast is doing 25%. Spiritomb heals all of that up thanks to that Citrus Berry. And puts a burn on that Lugia, breaking that multi-scale. Aeroblast with the crits doing 35%. Dark Pulse doing 32% to Lugia. The burn is canceling out that leftovers heal. Spiritomb going for the Sucker Punch, but failing as Lugia goes for a Calm Mind. Aeroblast is going to miss that Spiritomb. Dark Pulse is doing 22% to Lugia. Aeroblast with the crit does take out that Spiritomb. And Lugia is left with 41% health right now. As Cynthia sends out the Lucario. Taking about 2% from that Stealth Rock. Rock Slide flinches the Lugia and leaves it on 5% health right now. Bullet Punch will finish off the Lugia. And I think this Lucario is about to wreak havoc. Falkner's going to send out the paralyzed Skarmory. Blaze Kick doing 49% to Skarmory. Body Press doing 62% to Lucario. Switching out to the Milotic as that Quick Claw activates but is paralyzed. Unfortunate para for that Skarmory. Drill Peck's doing 17% as Milotic goes for a recover. Scald's going to do 42% to Skarmory. Drill Peck's doing 60% to Milotic. And Milotic's going to go for another recover. Skarmory just trying to do as much as it can, but it will fall to Scald. And Falkner's down to his Aerodactyl now. Setting up a Dragon Dance, Scald is going to do 82% to Aerodactyl and get the burn. Rock Slide's going to miss the Milotic. Just insult to injury. Can't even get one last hit in. As Milotic takes out the Aerodactyl, and Cynthia, with 4 Pokemon remaining, takes game number 1. We didn't see anything from that Porygon Z. We saw the Flame Orb on the Milotic, Citrus Berry on the Spiritomb, leftovers on the Togekiss, and the Life Orb on that Garchomp. As for Falkner's side, we seen the Flame Orb on that Swellow, the Quick Claw on the Skarmory, and the leftovers on that Lugia. But we are back on the field for game number 2, and we're going to see if Falkner can pull a win, bring this to game 3, or if Cynthia will be our first and only trainer going into the top 16 with an undefeated record. Falkner starting off with the Xatu, Cynthia starting off with that Porygon Z. Xatu's going to go for a Calm Mind. Thunderbolt's going to do 80% to Xatu, as it eats that Pitaya Berry, but I don't think it's going to save it. Psychic's not doing anything to the Spiritomb. Shadow Ball is doing 35% to it. Dark Pulse will take out that Xatu. Falkner's going to send out that Lugia, go for a Calm Mind, as Spiritomb goes for that Will-O-Wisp on it again. Getting the burn, breaking that multi-scale. Spiritomb going to go for a Sucker Punch, but fail, thanks to Lugia going for Calm Mind. Going for a third Calm Mind as Spiritomb goes for a Dark Pulse. This Lugia is looking very terrifying. It's got 4 Calm Minds set up. Aeroblast is going to take out the Spiritomb. Cynthia is going to send out the Lucario now. Going to outspeed. Rock Slide does 39% to Lugia. Earth Power does take out the Lucario. And for once, Falkner is in the lead right now in terms of Pokemon left. Cynthia's going to send out the Milotic now. Aeroblast is going to do 65% to Milotic. Mirror Coat takes out the Lugia, bringing it to a 4v4 right now. Falkner's going to send out the Pidgeot, going to Mega Evolve and go for a Hurricane, taking out that Milotic. And Cynthia's down to 3 Pokemon as she sends out that Garchomp. I believe Garchomp's what took this thing out. Going for the U-turn, switching it out to that Aerodactyl. Stone Edge, with the crit, takes Aerodactyl down to that Sash. And Garchomp loses a bit of HP thanks to that Life Orb. Ice Fang takes out the Garchomp. Rough Skin takes out the Aerodactyl. And it's currently 3v2 right now. Falkner sending out the Swallow. Cynthia sending out the Togekiss. Steel Wing doing 42% to Togekiss. Thunder Wave's going to paralyze the Swallow. Togekiss is going to heal up thanks to those leftovers. Air Slash does 82% and get the flinch on the Swallow. Aura Sphere does take out that Swallow. Not risking a miss on it. And Falkner's going to send out the Skarmory now. Going to Thunder Wave the Skarmory. Ironhead's doing all of Togekiss's health. And it's just down to that Porygon Z. Thunder Wave takes Skarmory down to the 30. Body Press does 79% to Porygon Z. Thunderbolt takes out the Skarmory. And it's just Pidgeot left. Hurricane from the Pidgeot will take out the Porygon Z. And Falkner takes game number 2, which means no one is undefeated in this tournament. It's kind of crazy to think about. But we're going on to a game number 3. Cynthia's only game that results in a game 3 came that close. But we're back on the field for game number 3, and we're going to see who's moving on to round 5. Will it be the Sinnoh champion Cynthia, or will it be the Johto gym leader Falkner? Cynthia starting off with the Porygon Z, Falkner starting off with that Johto. Johto going for a Calm Mind, as Thunderbolt does 95% and get the para on that Johto, but paralyzing this Porygon Z thanks to that Synchronize. Heat Wave doing 79% to Porygon Z, Ice Beam taking out the Johto, and Falkner's gonna send out the Swallow now. Aerial Ace taking out the Porygon Z. 3 turns in, and it's already 5v5 right now. Cynthia's gonna send out the Spiritomb. Falkner's gonna switch out to the Skarmory. Dark Pulse is doing a third to Skarmory's health. Ironhead's doing 34% to Spiritomb as it goes for the Will-O-Wisp to burn that Skarmory. Quick Claw activating, setting up the Stealth Rocks as Cynthia switches out to that Lucario before those Stealth Rocks are set up. Gonna Mega Evolve, Blaze Kick's gonna take Skarmory down to 2%, Body Press does 36% to Lucario, and the burn finishes off that Skarmory, leaving Falkner with 4 Pokemon remaining. As Falkner goes for that Pidgeot. Gonna Mega Evolve, Heat Wave's gonna take out that Lucario with a critical hit, bringing Cynthia down to 4 Pokemon as well. And she's gonna send out the Milotic now. Pidgeot's gonna U-turn out of there into the Lugia. Milotic's going for an Ice Beam doing 13% to Lugia, as that Flame Orb does activate on Milotic. Psychic doing 19%, Ice Beam doing 23% to Lugia. Honestly, a freeze would be pretty funny. Ice Beam with the crits and getting the freeze on the Lugia. Commentator's curse right there. God. Lugia is still frozen solid. Ice Beam does another 17% to Lugia. Still frozen solid. Yeah, and Milotic goes for the recover. Falkner is not too happy with me. It's still frozen. This is definitely the longest, like, freeze. I think it can be indefinite. It just has a 25% chance every turn to unfreeze or thaw out. I think. I'd have to go check the Bulbapedia page. But Pidgeot takes out the Milotic. It's now 3v3 right now, as Cynthia sends out that Garchomp. Gonna U-turn from that Garchomp into the Aerodactyl. Stone Edge is gonna miss that Aerodactyl, unfortunately. Ice Fang takes Garchomp down to 4%. Outrage takes out the Aerodactyl. Garchomp does faint thanks to that Life Orb. It's 2v2 right now. Falkner's gonna send out the Swallow. Cynthia sends out the Togekiss. Steel Wing misses the Togekiss. Air Slash misses the Swallow. What are these two doing? Steel Wing misses again. Air Slash misses again. They're both at the same amount of HP right now. Steel Wing finally lands. Air Slash takes out the Swallow. Dear God. Hurricane does take out the Togekiss, and I think it's over. Sucker Punch does 27% to Pidgeot. Hurricane does 46%. Spiritomb healing up thanks to that Citrus Berry. Sucker Punch doing 29%. Hurricane takes out the Spiritomb, and Falkner takes Cynthia out of the tournament. I honestly would not have expected that, but he goes on to round 5, where he'll be facing off against the winner of tomorrow's match between Hapu and Koga. Oh yeah, this video is getting disliked to hell, but thank you so much for watching, and until then, take care.